Hello and welcome. This is Dr. Do. We have a very special order today from E3D. This is the beloved tool changer that they just released. I went ahead and got the full kit, which came with the 4 Bowden tube applications, because eventually I do want to put some specialty ends on it. And the Bowden tube for my specific setup that I have in mind is going to work out better for that. But I did get 2 Hemera drives that are ready to go for this, that I'm going to actually set the system up with, get familiar with it, and then I'm going to start implementing the Bowden tube systems as well. And then I will also have 6 hot ends to do whatever I want with. Maybe I'll even put some stuff on a different printer, however that might end up. But I mean, you really can't go wrong with E3D's products. I've had their V6 hot end for years now with the Volcano system run on it, and have been nothing but happy with it. When they finally announced that they're providing some sort of a printer, and I was wanting to get into tool changing anyways, the option was to integrate it into an existing printer, start from scratch, get familiar with the process by getting a system that already has it. Their system, while not cheap, provides everything I'll need to get to know these kinds of systems for whatever I may want to do in the future. And then I'll also have a working printer in order to make whatever I want in the future. That's where we're at today, and we're just going to go ahead and dive right into this whole setup, and we will try to assemble all this into one video. These things that make everyone happy, and I will have a beautiful record of me assembling this system, and you guys get to know the system a little bit better. Now, so far I haven't seen any instructions, but most of the instructions are online.
Quick interjection, when you keep saying on the line, you do mean online.
I don't know what all has been sitting with the kit, so we'll start with that, and we'll go from there. So I believe this is the XY system, along with walls. This, I believe, is the base from the little bit that I looked online. Feels nice. Aluminum. It's mostly going to be aluminum, and then I believe this is acrylic as the wall panels. That is surprisingly thick. I'm gonna focus here. Look at how thick that wall is. I like that, but I mean, it makes sense because they actually mount the extruders onto the back wall, and so it actually has to have some structural rigidity. And then they go ahead and they mount the spool reels onto the sidewalls. So there's really not a lot, if any, wasted space through this entire system. And at first I was just kind of writing the system off until I started looking at pictures a lot closer. There's really not a whole lot online. I think because it's a new system, bugs are still trying to be worked out of it, but that doesn't scare me a whole lot. It's just, I was curious about how they set up the motors, how they set up the walls and stuff, because I do want to end up with a heated chamber. And the way that they go about applying their walls and their motor setups and everything makes it very easy to actually just go ahead and adapt their setup to be ready to go with a heated chamber. It's pretty awesome. They actually place the motors, and here's 2 of them for the X and Y axes. Tire belt, everything, tire assembly is ready to go. Wow, that is some intricate work there. Very expensive with all the machining, but very lightweight too. Oh, it just feels so smooth, and you can just feel it wanting to run. As you can see, linear rails. I'll just go ahead and throw it up on the screen what motors we have here. I believe they're NEMA 17s. And then they went ahead and have a 3rd linear rail here. So I'm excited because that means that we're gonna get to be able to actually push this to some pretty considerable limits. Hopefully we can get it going really fast.
The limit does not exist. The limit does not exist.
Now I did get this from Great Britain, so the packaging, everything, like they put a lot of care into this, and I'm really happy to see that. So far I haven't seen any sort of damage or marring that got past cardboard. Just keep going, haven't seen any instructions yet. This is actually vertical axes, and I was a little surprised how they set this up. They actually have the motor on the bottom. You could install like a plate above where the motor sets in order to help keep some heat off of it, or like maybe a shroud around it, and then supply like airflow or something. I think that's actually the tool changer system, but I've got enough boxes here to potentially end up with 6 Hemeras and 4 V6 hot ends. This is largely wiring. They did label wires. That's beautiful. I appreciate that. You know it's getting good when there's warning labels. Is there really any fun involved if there's no warning? Okay, so this is probably just the heated bed part, and then the other part will actually be the glass plate that sits on top. If you can even hear me over all this. Warning labels, yes, those are my favorite. Look, it even got flatness verification on this of 0.23. Doesn't mean anything to me. I'm assuming that the max min difference might be 0.23. I'm happy that to some extent they did measure a flatness. At some point I'll have to get a thermal camera. I want to see just how evenly this hot plate heats up with this. I mean, you can see the traces all throughout here with the right lighting. And a nice glass build plate. That is, wow. They did a phenomenal job with that, with chamfering the edges. That's just pretty. One thing that I've noticed, and maybe you have too, we're all out of boxes. There's no instructions. So, on that note, I will be right back.